You think humans are the only ones that truly communicate. We aren't. Right now, whales, elephants, birds, dolphins are exchanging information in ways scientists are only beginning to understand, and some of these conversations are genuinely unbelievable. Dolphins do not just make sounds, they have names. Individual, specific, self-chosen names that other dolphins use to address them directly. Researcher Stephanie King has spent years studying how dolphins use what scientists call signature whistles, unique sound patterns that each dolphin develops in the first year of life and uses as a personal identifier for the rest of it. When dolphins call to each other across open water, they use these signature whistles. When a dolphin hears its name being called, it whistles back. A 2013 study published in the Proceedings of the Royal Society found that dolphins copy each other's signature whistles specifically to get attention, the equivalent of calling someone by name. That is not instinct. That is intentional communication using a learned individual identifier. Now go deeper into the ocean. Humpback whales sing. You probably knew that. What you probably did not know is that their songs change every year across entire ocean basins spanning thousands of miles. Populations of male humpbacks gradually adopt new song patterns, updating and modifying their calls in a cultural transmission that researchers describe as the fastest evolving cultural phenomenon ever documented in any non-human animal. Marine biologist Ellen Garland tracked how new song themes originated in Australian waters and spread eastward across the Pacific, moving from population to population like a musical trend, passing through Tonga, French Polynesia, the Cook Islands, each group learning the new song from the previous one. If that does not make you pause, this will. Elephants have a communication system that exists partly below the range of human hearing, infrasound, vibrations so low that you feel them in your chest before you can hear them, and that travel through the ground for distances of up to 10 kilometers. Researcher Cynthia Moss has documented elephants using these calls to coordinate movements across distances that make direct observation impossible. They warn each other about predators. They announce births. They grieve their dead with specific vocalizations made only in the presence of deceased family members. Elephants have demonstrated the ability to recognize the calls of more than 100 individual elephants even years after separation. But if you want to see communication that feels surprisingly human, look at the great apes, chimpanzees, bonobos, and gorillas. Don't just make random noises. They use dozens of distinct calls, facial expressions, gestures, and body movements to communicate with one another. Chimpanzees have specific alarm calls for different predators, unique food calls that attract others to valuable discoveries, and even gestures that mean things like follow me, move over, or groom me. Researchers have found that they combine gestures with vocalizations and adjust the way they communicate depending on who is watching, suggesting they understand what other individuals know or don't know. Bonobos use subtle facial expressions, eye contact, and body language to maintain peace within their groups, while gorillas rely on chest beats, vocal grunts, and gestures that can travel through dense forests over long distances. Scientists now believe the communication of great apes is far more flexible and intentional than anyone imagined. And then there are crows. They are not mammals, they are not great apes, but their brain is structured completely differently from a primate brain, and yet crows have demonstrated theory of mind, the understanding that other beings have thoughts, knowledge, and intentions that are different from their own. This matters for communication because theory of mind is what makes intentional communication possible. You do not just make noise, you make specific noise designed to affect the thoughts of a specific listener. Corvid researcher Alex Taylor has shown that New Caledonian crows understand when they are being watched, adjust their behavior based on what they believe others know, and can deceive competitors by hiding food differently when observed. A crow that can model the mental state of a rival is a crow that is communicating with intent. And now, the one that changes everything. Parrots do not just copy sounds. In the wild, they use unique contact calls that work almost like names. Research has shown that many parrots develop a signature call that identifies them as individuals, and other parrots use that exact call to get their attention. They can even imitate another bird's signature call to address that specific individual, almost like calling someone by their name. Their flocks constantly exchange these calls while flying through forests, allowing them to stay together even when they can't see each other. Scientists have also found that parrots change their calls depending on the situation, using different sounds to warn of danger, locate food, or reunite with family members. And if that wasn't impressive enough, parrots can also learn to imitate hundreds of human words and countless everyday sounds, from phones ringing to car alarms and even human laughter. Some species don't just repeat words, they learn when to use them in the right context, making them some of the most remarkable vocal learners on Earth.